Come on now, you can't be a track rat without a track app, right? Let's be honest here. Most of us go to the track and the goal is to be faster. Not everyone's out there to rub and race. Not everyone's out there to go door to door, but everyone is in search of improvement with regards to their lap times. The majority of us are not flush with cash. So racing on a budget is our primary concern. Improvement versus how you track what you do can be done in this single app called TrackAddict. Now before you rush out to download it, and yes, it's in every single app store, watch to the end of this video, and if you like it, throw me a subscribe and be sure to share. Yeah, I know, $0 gets you entry into this app because we all carry one of these with, okay, maybe not one this old, but we all carry a phone with us that's got crazy features, right? So why not take advantage of it and turn it into a tool for the track? I'm gonna start here by saying that if you don't have a secure mount for your phone in your car, don't even bother trying this app just yet. Spend the small amount of money to make sure that your phone is secure in your car. The sensors on your phone won't work right if it's not properly mounted. More importantly, the last thing you need is a phone-sized and weighted projectile humming around in your car, whether your wheels are down or up. Do it for safety's sake. With all that said, I'm going to take you through a couple of key features around this app and tell you why exactly it's great and why I use it. Modes. TrackAddict has a couple of them. Circuit for track rats, segment for climbers and sprinters, drag for the traps, and trails for the off-roader. Oh yeah, and there's a raw data mode for all the tech buffs. Almost every mode has a list of tracks that you can pull GPS data from, and if it doesn't exist, you can create new ones. For example, just for fun in the segment mode, I created a little sprint to work. Inquiring minds can relax because split times at a stoplight when you're a law-abiding citizen don't really matter. But it was pretty cool to check out, and I can see how someone would create a hill climb or track their hill climbs with it. Now back to the track mode, it has to be said, I'm coming away pretty impressed with the amount of tracks available. Being Canadian, I always expect that the rest of the world doesn't really know our tracks that well. But the local circuits that I go to are all there, and I have yet to be at a track that hasn't been included for data. Loading up the app and getting started in your car is actually incredibly simple. You hit the red record button on the screen and away you go. This is what shows up. You can pick options on this screen such as which camera is used from your phone to record images, what quality they get recorded at. You can also show real-time data points and which ones you want to pick, for example, speed, G, whatever. What we're really looking at here is a lap timer, a stopwatch, all being pulled together from GPS data. What about that data? Well, that comes down to your phone and potentially your car's computer. The app obviously uses location services such as GPS data to figure out the position that you're in, but it will also use extra sensors like accelerometers and G-force and all that stuff within your phone. Again, that depends on what kind of phone you got. I look at this kind of like a multi-tool scenario because your phone is one kind of tool, this app is a tool within the phone, so really it depends on what you're going to spend and what you're going to get out of it. A better phone may get better data. Now I did spend the extra $25-ish for an OBD2 reader. What's an OBD2 reader? Well, it pulls the data that comes from your car's computer and can stream it to the app. Now you can find these things on eBay, on Amazon, on websites. I believe that racerender.com, who actually makes the app, has a link to their own too, but I've got my own and I use that to link. Now, my Jetta required an OBD2 reader that was Bluetooth connection. The BMW, which is kind of older, requires a Wi-Fi connection. Both of those are supported by TrackAddict and very easy to connect. If it doesn't connect with one, try the other. There's also a hardwire option too. You're gonna have to figure out what works best with your car. So whatever data that your car's computer actually collects gets pulled and streamed to your device, and that is overlaid with all the other data that's coming from your phone as well as the GPS coordinates. It's pretty cool when you pull all that data out of your phone and create a video. Overlays can be customized and upgraded, and different data points can be collected and displayed. An interesting thing to note here is that my BMW does not record the brake pedal position in the computer, which would be helpful. It does show my throttle application data, which is spit out as a percentage. The whole point of all this information is to learn from it. During the Lapel, it's recording your relayed real lap times and splits. I find the splits helpful because it breaks down feedback and reference points along different sections throughout the lap. By comparing what your butt feels to what the app displays, you can kind of get a reference whether you were faster or slower through certain sections and what you can try to improve. It shows green if you're doing better and it shows red if you're doing worse through a certain section. You can use that to quickly compare how you're doing. I know that this data is definitely advantageous and gives you quick feedback on the spot, but more importantly, you do need to keep your eyes on where you're going. So let me highlight the fact that really this is a post-lap experience, a post-session experience for review. One last cool feature about the split screen at the time that you're recording it is it actually predicts based on your sections what your final lap will be, if it's going to be better or worse. And I found that it's actually fairly accurate to tell, hey, you've done well here or you've done poorly here. Here's the kind of lap that you're going to have. At the end of it all, when you stop recording and driving, all of these data points are collected, saved, and put in for you to review later. You can compare and save your best lap times. Even further, you can compare your best sections within those laps as well. Heading into the details brings up a track overlay, which is pretty cool. The default is to show you high and low speeds throughout the track, which is pretty cool for an immediate comparison of how you did. I know for me at one of the local tracks, I always like to see what my speed is at the end of the front straight, because at that point I'm already preparing for the next corner. Concentrating on what I should be doing, which is driving, it's just a cool data point. You can also plot G-force if your phone has recorded that data, and here you see acceleration and deceleration points. Looking at this here already, I can tell that there's a couple of spots where I shouldn't be coasting. I should either be carrying more speed, accelerating, or decelerating. Now this image does bring me to one of the faults with the app. The map's longitude and latitude data versus the GPS data isn't necessarily accurate. Those familiar with this track will notice that I'm definitely in the grass in the bridge at the top of the hill. That definitely wasn't the case as I was going around the bend. This unfortunately holds me back from using another feature on the app, which is the single turn analysis. You can pre-program where the turn in, the apex, and the exit should be, and it will help you analyze exactly how you're doing. Unfortunately, with these plotting points being so far off in my scenario, definitely not something I can use. Whether or not this can be improved with a different type of phone, a different track, or maybe an external GPS, which can also be connected, it's just something that I'm not going to spend money on at this point. This could be unique to my situation only. Let me know your experience in the comments below. All in all, I definitely recommend this app. After I got my supercharger broken in on the car, one of the first things I did was find a safe spot to run a quarter mile on the app. And it gave me some decent feedback and I believe realistic results. The app does have some pay upgrades and some extra features for data extraction, but even those are cheaper than a lot of the alternatives out there. If you're looking to keep record of your track time, or you're just looking for some simple feedback with some data on how you're doing, I definitely recommend TrackAddict. The price is right, the features are awesome, definitely take a look.